Hi, my name is Gabriel Reese, and today I'll be talking about the concepts of cloud computing. On this website, we will be going more in depth on the purpose of cloud computing, some effects and impacts, technical aspects, and their relationships to data. The purpose of cloud computing. Indicate the name of the innovation and provide a clear description of its intended purpose, such as the problem that the innovation solved, the opportunity that the innovation created, or the discovery that the innovation made possible. Let's start over here to the left. Cloud computing is the use of technology to store data, like a picture, song file, Word file, etc. on the internet in servers that can be accessed on anything that connects to the web other than storing data on a physical device that can be lost or broken. So what's the point? A huge advantage is avoid high costs. There's no need to purchase hard drives. Mobility. Again, access your files from anywhere on the internet, any device that connects to the internet. Communication. Google Drive offers a great feature where users anywhere in the world can connect to one file and can message each other and work on that one file together. No need to upgrade technology. You don't need to buy bigger hard drives, other hard drives, because cloud computing updates remotely. Time consuming. Find your files and resources through any device. No need to go through hard drives to find them. And now I'm going to play a little video that goes a little more in depth of why I use cloud computing.
Okay, when I needed to expand my knowledge on cloud computing, I visited this website. Starts over here with a simple definition, and if we scroll further down, it has the uses of cloud computing and the benefits: cost, speed, global scale, productivity, performance, reliability, and the types of services, a small little definition of each, and it ends with the types of cloud deployments.
The effects and impacts of cloud computing. Explain a benefit and or harmful effect of the innovation. So I've already brought up some benefits through the purpose slide, but some other ones can include flexibility, efficiency, and strategic value. A harmful effect that I'm going to really focus on later on is the security aspect of cloud computing. For now, let's move on. Explain the impact that the innovation has had on society, economy, and or culture. Indicate one field other than computer science which this innovation has impacted or has the potential to impact. So for these two questions, I really focused on education. For part C, I went to Natick Public Schools, and in 7th grade they incorporated a one-to-one computing system where every student received a laptop. With this program, I went through it for 4 years, and I think it really helped me understand more about computers, and it really helped me gain more information about the world around me, including the society, economy, and culture. I think cloud computing, as asked in Part D, really impacts the field of education. It really helps students in the younger generation learn more about what is happening around the world. And with this, it's going to impact society and the economy. With knowledge, knowledge should improve the world. And as you can see to the right, there's a graph showing the growth penetration in the industry. It's really a growing industry. And if you look up here, even though cloud computing has been around for some time, you notice by the numbers in the graph that it's really it's a new industry. It's a new innovation that people don't really understand yet. The younger generation, the 19-year-olds, as you can see here, they believe that the impact of cloud computing in society has a big impact. But here for 20 and 21, not so much, because they're in a different age, a different time. Technical aspects of cloud computing. Describe how a user interacts with the innovation. So for this one, I wanted to focus on software as a service. So software as a service allows individuals to use cloud-based apps over the internet, such as email and office tools like Microsoft Office 365. Users usually purchase a pay-as-you-go plan from a cloud service provider to rent the use of an app for personal use or for an organization's use. All infrastructure, middleware, app software, and app data are located in the service provider's data center, and the users connect it through the internet. It allows your organization to get up quickly and running with an app at minimal upfront cost. So over here, we can see some examples of SAS. Maybe we've used some. Most common one for users may be Google Drive. So you can see if I go over here, all these files have been shared with me through a different location completely. And all these files over here are files that I put on my drive and I can access through anywhere, any device that connects to the internet. Coming back here. Describe in detail how the innovations technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, programming, and or the internet to accomplish its purpose. So as I mentioned before in the previous web page, losing your data through hackers is a huge harmful effect and disadvantage for cloud computing. So for one of the big ideas, I wanted to focus on algorithms, specifically DES and RSA, which are two different kinds of algorithms. DES is a symmetric key block cipher, meaning they use the same key for both encryption and decryption. And RSA is an algorithm that incorporates both private and public keys, where the public key is known to everyone and is used to encrypt messages, while the private key is used to decrypt messages. Some coders and computer scientists, as of 2015, based on this article, were actually trying to incorporate the two. And as you can see down here, you can follow what they were trying to do. This is DES right here, RSA, and then the combination of the two. Cloud computing's relationship to data. Describe how the innovation consumes data as an input, produces data as an output, and it transforms data. Cloud computing is so complex that it does it all. It's a consumer, producer, and transforms data. So I wanted to focus on SaaS. So the user inputs the data, the server consumes it and transforms the data from a locally saved drive to a remotely saved drive, allowing access through any device connected to the internet. Something I really wanted to focus on was question H. Describe at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security concern related to the innovation. Security is a huge disadvantage of cloud computing. Companies such as Facebook and Twitter are prone to attacks, and even the IRS had a data breach in 2015. With security being a major impact on internet storage and organization, cloud storage companies with higher security protocols have the opportunity to charge more for security, which then can bring up the disadvantage of cost. What's unique about cloud computing is one disadvantage to one user may not be the same disadvantage to another user. Large companies and small companies can have different advantages and disadvantages. A larger company may be able to afford a more expensive server, more expensive web host, and more expensive cloud storage company, while a smaller business may not be able to afford those things and may not be able to handle the disadvantages like the downtime of the internet. That can be a major impact for a small company opposed to a large company. And there's also the individual users. What if you're not in a company? For me, I use Google Drive. I don't have as many disadvantages based on security. I'm not really worried about a hacker trying to steal my philosophy homework from last week, opposed to companies being afraid that hackers are trying to steal companies' information that are worth hundreds and millions of dollars. And the last slide, webpage, I apologize, that I wanted to focus on is my reference page, so you don't think that I just came up with this all through my head. Here are some articles that I used. One of my favorite ones was Microsoft. if it loads. There it is. So this one really brought to my attention what really is cloud computing. I showed this on my previous video on this website. I'm just not going to go over it a lot, but I really think this website can help you understand more if you want to go more in depth on cloud computing. It's fun to talk about cloud computing, but I wanted to get into how I made the website. To start off, you have to go to a web host, pay a small fee, usually a monthly fee, to get you access to the internet. Right now we're using cPanel. From cPanel, I go to File Manager, my HTML folder, and I create web pages such as my purpose.html, tech, and the rest of these are usually pictures, some more web pages over here. The funnest page I created was my technical aspects page. I spent a lot of time researching on how to get these pictures to zoom in. I realized that I couldn't really read what was going on in the pictures, but I didn't want to make the actual pictures bigger. I wanted to have a small web page so that the user wasn't having to zoom in and scroll a lot. So instead, I made it so if you hover over the picture, it would zoom in. And you can clearly see the words now. So what you see here is a gray background, a header with blue background, a banner, some pictures, a footer over here, some more pictures and text. What I see when I'm creating the web page is the language of code. So you have your header that is not seen in the web page, and then the body. Everything in the body is seen in the actual website. So if we start right here, you can see the text of the header that I showed you previously with the blue background, and then one of the pictures in a div with a class of zoom in. And this is the actual code to get the picture to get on the page, with another class to align left. You may be a little confused. There is HTML and there is CSS. The HTML is putting all these pictures and text on here. But the CSS, as you can see here, is telling it all how to look. So I had the text, for example, I had the text from my footer right here with all the buttons and their links. But that's not telling it to be blue. And that's not telling it to have spacing around the web page. This is what's telling it to be blue and have spacing around the web page. And then if we go down here to the zoom in, it's telling the picture to zoom in to this width and to this height once it's hovered over. Another thing that you saw was align left when I was showing you that picture. May have passed it. Here it is, align left. This is telling the picture to go to the left and stay aligned with the text. So that way the text isn't just under the picture or on top of the picture. Most of my images were created with Pixlr. Pixlr is an online Photoshop. With this, you can incorporate layers, crop the picture, paint the picture. You can really do what you can get creative and really innovate the picture. I usually use these for my banners mostly. For my pictures on the website, I mostly just crop them, took out things that I didn't needed. But for my banner, there's really 3 different layers, 4 if you want to separate the text. There is the background picture. As you can see, it's the Microsoft, it's the chips, the 2 things of text, and my logo. The chip is my background image. It's the first layer. And then it would be the logo, and then it would be the text. The first layer, the first layer I should say, the one that's locked usually, it usually starts locked, is the background. So it will be behind everything. The layer on top of that will be on top of the background, and so on. So if I moved the concept of cloud computing, the text on top of this logo, if the layer is above it, then it will show on top of the logo. But if the layer is below it, then it will be below the logo. And that's a little introduction to layers in Pixlr. Some other things you can do is you can incorporate GIFs as well, as seen here. It's the same aspect, except if you go over here, instead of .png, it would be .gif. And that's it. That's how I created this one specific web page, through the use of HTML, CSS, and Pixlr to edit my images to make it look a lot better.